Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and today I'm looking at a game called Skeptics. Skeptics, a game of paranormal investigation. Skeptics is a co-op dice rolling game where players are exploring a haunted location and trying to prove the existence of ghosts. Skeptics was designed by Jon Usiak and is being published by Usiak Games Designs. I did not play the physical version. I played this game on Tabletopia, so it's be a little bit different than the normal videos that I do. But nevertheless, let's take a look at what Skeptics is all about. So on this particular map, you're going to be moving around an asylum with one of the four characters you can see in the upper right corner, and you're going to be rolling clue dice and key dice to move around and unlock doors and find clues in order to prove the existence of a ghost. There's a stack of room cards we'll get into a little bit later that are sort of the timer in terms of whether you win or lose. The first ghost you're going to encounter is the ghost of Casper, essentially. And you're going to want to roll the icons on the dice in order to get clues, which if you get matching clues, you can perform a seance, and then instead of the ghost coming out at the end of all the rounds, you can essentially pull the ghost towards you in order to try to prove that it exists. There is a clock in the game, and rounds are pretty much on the hour, but when it strikes midnight, a ghost does come out with a number indicating what room it's going to be placed in, and when it comes out, it has certain effects, like when the ghost child comes out, he can close doors that you've already unlocked, thus making it a little bit harder to get all the clues to prove that the ghost exists. Some of the clues you're going to unlock are going to unlock special items and regular items. These are just a couple of the special items you can get. So you have summoning chalk, there's secret passages that you can unlock. There's no limit on special items, but there is a limit on regular items. You can only have 3 regular items, but as many special items as you can possibly get. These are the 4 investigators you can choose when you're playing. I believe there'll be more options, but these are the 4 I played in the demo that I had. Playing single player, you will be controlling all 4 of them. And these are essentially the actions you can take when you're playing the game. You do summon actions. Everybody will go with the ghost hour. The ghost will come out and have whatever effect they're going to have. They're going to remain for 1 round. While the ghost is out, you're going to try to roll the dice so you can complete all the different dice combinations on the ghost card, thus getting the evidence you need to prove that it exists. So on your turn, you're typically able to take 3 actions. That could be to walk to a room, walk to 3 rooms. If you do walk through 3 rooms consecutively, you can dash into a 4th. Another action, as you can see, is to roll the dice, try to get a clue. So I rolled the dice, matching, getting at least 1 eye. I needed 1 eye for the clue, and this is what the clue entails. The clue essentially allows you to take another icon and place it in that room. If you're successful in rolling the dice combination on the clue, you can get a clue towards actually summoning the ghost successfully so you can prove that it exists. I keep saying that a lot, but that's the theme of the game. The red icon indicates that if you fail, you advance the clock. If you advance the clock, that means that the ghost is going to come out and start to wreak a little bit more havoc sooner than it would have anyway. So you gotta be careful with those timers. Okay, so right there, I rolled the dice successfully and got an item. Let's see what I got here. An EVP recorder. So once per turn, we roll any amount of clue dice during a search, solve, or prove action. That is very useful. And nice thing is, that's not like a one-time use. Memory serves on the hour. A card from the environment stack is drawn, and normally that has a negative impact on the investigators. This particular one would force everybody or anyone who got a magnifying glass to put it back. The magnifying glass token allows you to get an extra die up to 3 times, and then has to go back. You have to return to the room that has a magnifying glass if you want to have that ability again. Okay, so now the ghost is going to come out, and the ghost is going to be placed in room number 4. Now, this particular ghost is one of the easier ones, so what it does is it appears and it closes all adjacent doors. But there's no doors in the room that it's in, so that's okay. And as you can see, there's a lot of dice rolling that has to happen in order to resolve this ghost. So it's going to stay out for a full round. Everybody will get a chance to either go to it to roll to claim some of those icons, or you can just keep doing what you're already doing. The ghost will go away at the end of the round, which also means you don't have a chance to roll the dice combinations on the ghost card in order to defeat it, essentially. I was a bit far away from where the ghost was, so I just ended up staying where I was in order to get more clues and unlock doors. So you see the green dice are for unlocking doors. Different icons on the board will indicate how many of each thing you need to roll. I was unsuccessful in opening that door this time. So despite my failure at opening the doors, my fellow investigators did go to the room where the ghost was. And if you are in the room with at least one other investigator, you do get an extra die on your turn. Just one. So it doesn't matter if there's 2 people in there, you just get 1 extra die. And as you can see, they put the blue cubes on top of the icons that they resolved already. And now the round is over. The ghost leaves the room it was in, and so it just disappears. And we resume what we were doing before, which is to unlock doors and get clues and things of that nature. There's also secret passages in the game, which is kind of hard just to show you on Tabletopia here, but there are secret passages in the game, which allow you to move from opposite ends of the environment, which is very useful because if you only can go a maximum of 3 rooms and a dash, being able to, essentially warp from one end to the other is quite useful. Now, of course, it's midnight again, which means another environment card comes out. And for the next hour, all eye icons are upgraded to camera icons for search and solve actions. Does not affect prove actions, which is good. But that means for every turn we took in this round, all eyes were cameras, thus making it much more difficult to resolve search and solve actions. So at this point, we were able to get 4 different seance dice, or dice that lets you just pull the ghost out, and we were able to put the ghost in a room that we were all in, essentially having it trapped, which enables us to, we're doing assists, which is essentially getting an extra die because we're all sort of together to roll the combinations to complete all the different icons and icon sets on the ghost card, and hopefully prove it exists and win the game collectively, cooperatively. And there we go. We completed the entire thing, all the ghost cards, and now everybody will believe us. I guess this is all about, I guess you could have just dragged them along with you and they would have seen it themselves, but this works too. We finally got the evidence to prove all those naysayers wrong. Do we get paid from this? I don't know. I guess maybe fame, fortune. We write books. There's a book tour. I mean, Ray Parker Jr. once said, busting makes him feel good, but I guess getting a nice fat check is, that works too. So that's sort of how Skeptics works. It is a co-op dice game where you are going around an environment, getting clues, trying to help each other out when you can, and the impending threat is always there. That clock is always ticking for the ghost to come back out. But if you go through the entire stack of room cards, the game ends. So if there's no more rooms for the ghost to go to, that means there's no more opportunities for you to prove that the ghost is there. Which means once that's out, once that's gone, you're done. No fame, no fortune. You're just done. You'd be like the Ghostbusters after the first movie, I guess, when people forgot that ghosts existed. I don't know. It's a thing. So anyway, that's Skeptics from Jon Usiak Games and Designs. It's up on Kickstarter now. I would have really liked to have played, obviously, the physical version of it, but that just wasn't possible. So playing it on Tabletopia was the next best thing. I thought it was fun. I like co-op games. I dig it. I don't know. And there was one environment that we tried. There are others. I believe there's a museum and some other environments. And there's a plethora of ghosts who all have different abilities. Like I said, the ghost Casper was the easiest and probably the one that you want to sort of teach people how to play with, which makes the most sense. His ability being to close doors, which is annoying as I don't know what, because some of those doors, if you need 2 or 3 keys, that could be kind of frustrating if you don't get those keys. So yeah, so that is Skeptics. I enjoyed it. I look forward to putting on a table and working with others who are there physically to prove the existence of ghosts. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. If you think it's fun, think if busting ghosts makes you feel good, if proving that they exist makes you feel good, if you are or aren't Ray Parker Jr., maybe you should think about supporting Skeptics on Kickstarter. That's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Take care. Wear a mask. Be safe. Be blessed.